Junkyard dog. Alrighty, well anyways, good morning everybody. It's a Monday. Whoop, Monday. My Windows isn't working very well, so I'm avoiding rebooting. So it's the 12th of June, Monday, 2017, as you probably know. Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Hope you don't mind. For some reason, I decided to do Georgia Tech Day. Ramblin' wreck of Georgia Tech. Yeah. So, sorry. So we updated Forex.Today, and it doesn't work. So we're working on it. It's just weird how, like, tech does this, huh? Oh, an upgrade ruins it. So, I don't know. Most of it works fine now, except you cannot upload an image. So, aware of it, been working on it all weekend. It's just an HTTP error somewhere, I don't know. Working on it, but it's not crazy. Yeah, I know how to defeat the robots. Give them an update. Yeah. All right, so anyways, my name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. Nice to meet you. I'm here Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. here at Forex.Today. Once a month, I'm at FX Street, where I do non-farm payrolls live, and I've been doing that for about 11 and a half years. But I've been speaking at FX Street longer than that. That's just one of the webinars. It's kind of amazing if you think about it. My Fundies course is absolutely awesome. Right on. You know, I still don't, in my opinion, I still haven't finished it, but it's in my mind, so there's more I want to add to it. But it's a good base. But cool, thanks for the feedback. Yeah, so let's just get going. So a couple of questions. Yeah, okay, I don't like questions. Oh yeah, questions are actually okay. Wow, you can't even see my face, huh? Anyways. All right, so let's get going. So what is interesting about this Friday? We were talking about the first Friday of the month being non-farm payrolls. It's a special day. What's interesting about this one? Triple witching. Yeah, well, I believe it's now actually quadruple witching. But who's counting witches? Yeah, no, it's triple witching, which means if it can expire, like a contract, right, like a futures contract or like an option, if it can expire, it will expire. Sort of like a Texas woman and her willingness to do, I don't know, I heard a joke, I can't remember. But anyways, it's something about a Texas woman. If it can be done, it will be done. I don't know. I can't remember. So if it can expire, it will expire. So that's what that is. And the story you may have heard 1,000 times, or at least I've heard my story 1,000 times. Was I met a guy on the floor where I was invited by a professional trader who works on the floor of the Chicago Board of Trade, worked there for a couple of decades, and he only trades quadruple witching. So there's the week before, so basically starting now, and the week after. He would work those 2 weeks, then do nothing for 3 months, then work 2 weeks, do nothing for 3 months, work 2 weeks, do nothing for 3 months, and then work for 2 weeks. What do you think about that? But I believe it's a requirement if you have a seat on the Chicago Board of Trade that you have to be there. Okay, you have to be there every day. So most of the time he'd get to work and he'd do this. Yeah. And it's true though. If you ever go, I don't even know, I guess it's probably still open. But most of the time, floor traders did nothing. And then there would be a frenzy, and then nothing again. They're reading newspapers, telling jokes, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, but he was very busy because if you think about it, let's say you're an oil futures contract. Okay? Let's say you buy it, you bought it last week. Great. And you think oil's going to go up, let's say, because it's just easier to think that way. Okay? Great. Well, do you still want to be long oil 2 weeks from now? Oh, right on, youngster. That's cool. So you were long oil last week. Do you want to be long oil next week? The answer is probably yes. So what do you need to do? Yeah, maybe not, but let's just say the answer is yes. How do you handle this? The contract you own is expiring. It'll be dead. Ish kaput ya, says youngster. Roll it over, which means sell the one you got and buy the next month. That's actually something that happens, right? You get it now? So, guess what? You can predict the future. Do you think people will suddenly be buying the back month, which will soon become the front month? You see, you can predict that there's going to be a selling of the current, and then the one that's going to become the new front month, people will be buying that, right? So it's like a peso trade. There might be nothing happening on that contract 2 weeks ago, and maybe some people start buying that contract last week, but if you want to be long next week, you got to be buying it this week. So, right? Because they stagger these months. So anyways, everything expires on Friday. Because depending on the market you're in, guys, one market might have a contract for every month, right? January, February, March, April, May, whatever, and they always expire the third week, right? Some are more like every 3 months. And then there are options that expire and all that kind of stuff at all kinds of different times, right? Well, everything on this Friday will expire. And many of these investors may want to roll it over to the new month. Whether it's a 1 month contract, 3 month contract, 2 month contract, whatever, they're going to have to get rid of it on Friday. So it's just an unusual situation. How are the charts? You can see okay? And I'll wait for you to type with without you, with or without you. All right. Good. Oh, the link to the webinar was broken? WTF? Really? That's right. The one coming up. Get out of here. Is anyone going to tell me? What? We didn't touch that. Gee whiz. Wow, I really apologize. I'm going to have to yell at the programmer because I get this thing on the weekend like, oh, I've tested everything. It's going to work. It's going to work. I'm like, dude, you can't log in. Or what the hell did you test? Can't upload an image. Like, what did you test? Oh, I'm so sorry. So, gee whiz, huh? Well, thank you for being persistent. Yeah. All right, so crude. I'm crude and I'm brewed and I'm never losing. All right. What's the trend? Down. Okay. We were talking last week, like, it was pretty low at this kind of 46, 45 area. Doesn't have to be a bottom, but it's pretty low. Doesn't have to fall further. If it did fall further, it doesn't have to fall much further. But why did it fall last week? Monthly pivot, weekly pivot. Well, all of that's a great place to sell, but this isn't a technical move. I mean, obviously it's set up technically. Inventories. What about inventories? Samuel says application of contracts expiring. Just be aware of it that maybe Thursday and Friday just might have some unusual trading activity. It's just not like every other Friday. There's something different about this particular Friday. Anything different is risk, which means if you lose money trading on Friday, just blame quadruple witching and you'll be fine. Right? You have something to cry about into your whiskey. Stupid triple witching. But it's not you, right? Yeah, so there was a buildup in inventories, but so what? But there isn't supposed to be a buildup this time of year. We've talked about this many, many times, so I won't belittle it. It's just we're not supposed to have a buildup. We're supposed to be drawing down, and that's okay, right? I mean, we're supposed to be burning up this oil. OPEC's trying to cut, right? Russia's on board. They issued a statement over the weekend saying blah, 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 blah. Please have oil prices go up. But it's not really good enough. But the unusual activity here is I think we added, what, 8 more rigs? Right? Right, so maybe the last 50 years. Well, of course, it doesn't include fracking at all because fracking wasn't invented 50 years ago. But still, it doesn't matter because actually the build-up in inventories had to do with importing oil. Some idiot at the government decided to import some oil. Plus, we added 8 more rigs. So, the frackers and such aren't slowing down. The industry's not slowing down. The government bought some oil when they shouldn't be buying oil at all. They should be selling it. So anyways, whatever. Inventories are up. That's bad for prices. Basic supply and demand, right? An increase in supply will lower prices. Right? Price, quantity, So an increase in supply means you shift to the right, because this means more quantity. Increase to supply, so you go from supply 1 to supply 2, shifting the supply curve to the right, which then changes the equilibrium from price 1 to price 2, right? So you can see that an increase in supply, if demand is stable and constant, lowers price. You get it? Isn't it nice to be able to just do supply and demand curves and prove that price would go down? See? That's why I'm a model. All economists are super modelers. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a model. I'm a model all day. In fact, some consider me a super modeler. Yeah. So that's nice though, right? So it just shows you that's why prices go down. Yeah. So anyways. So that's how it works. Just if you didn't know, if people say, "Oh well, supply, inventories went up, so price has to go down," if you didn't actually know why, that's why. So now you have to decide what you want to do, son. And if you're still a bear, that's got to be your plan. Sell at 47? Sure. Or maybe scalp at 47. And I'll wait for you to scalp at 47. I'll sell with or without you. With or without you. Wow. Slide a do 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 do. Alright, so anyways, that's all that. Inventory is up. They're not supposed to be up this time of year. So it's just not what we're looking for. Okay, euro dollar. Is this going to roll over? I think so. Okay. If it rolls over and heads down, then what can we look for in a pattern? Well, you could start with 100% Fibonacci retracement. Okay? Isn't that the beginning of whatever? Because there shouldn't be 100% retracement in an uptrend. right? 786 is bad, but 100%, that's not a retracement, that's a reversal. So you could start with a move down here, which also breaks the 21. Another important change, right? Then what? Lower high. How about off of this resistance? And by the way, by the time that happens, this 21 will be touching the bottom of that. Okay? So now the 55 has moved along so that, you remember, not only is it moving to the right, but it's moving up. It's a lagging indicator. So if you were to update it, I would say, ooh, it'd be right about here. Okay? And then we'd have to break the 21 and go to the future 200, which would be about where this pivot point is. And that's what it would look like. Another way of doing it is you'd measure the top of the crown to the neckline, bring it over, and project from the neckline to the target. And it says a little lower, I would adjust to include the pivot. So either way, I'm right. That's the nice thing about analysis. I'm always right. Now, the market might be wrong from time to time, but I'm always right. Okay? So that's 160 from the neck, 300 from the shoulder. You choose. Maybe you take them both. And I'll wait for you. Okay? Killer, right? Seems like we're just waiting and waiting and waiting for something, huh? You like Georgia Tech? Erica, the Rambling Wreck from Georgia Tech? Oil to fall or dollar to go up? Well, one way, Boris, is you go into here, which is the code base on the TradersWay MT4 platform, and there's dozens of pivot point indicators in here that you can use, amongst thousands of other indicators you can add to your chart. So you can pimp your ride, so to speak. All this stuff, channels. This indicator plots channels on 3 different time frames. and displays them all on one chart. Let's do that one. I think it's just called sessions. Okay, so now see, here it is. I downloaded this custom indicator. I'll click OK. OK. And now look at I got channels on multiple time frames plotted all at once. See? That's how you manage your MT4. Go to the indicator list. Looks like there's... Did them twice, and I think it did it on purpose looking at that now, which is interesting. Never seen that before. Can't really change the colors or widths or anything. I think this will do nothing. Let's try it. Yeah. Cool though. Cool beans, man. Cool beans. So I just customized my chart. No, but they're there. There's stuff there. All right. Yeah. So anyways, we're waiting for lunchtime. Here's our peso trade. It's been 2 weeks and you could still be short this. Amazing, huh, guys? So I hope you're working on your swing trading, where you could be in trades a couple of times a week. I mentioned that in the scalping course in the first video that I made for it, where like scalping has its purpose. It's not how you get filthy stinking rich, but moving into the time of year that we're approaching, it's the right time to be scalping. But the way to make the big money is swing trading. And then eventually position trading, right? So hopefully, like if you stayed in this trade for a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, right, you would be making money. Gave it all, but I want more. All right, so let's do Goldilocks here. Gold has been down 3 days in a row. Look at that, we predicted it. Isn't that amazing? Well, let's see. What's the rule when you approach resistance as a technical trader? How often does it hold? Yep, Jimmy, we're working on it. There was an update. Update ruined everything. So always 100% of the time, always, always, always holds, unless it breaks. So anyways, up to the top, but there's also a psych level in there, 1300. And right in sort of the monthly pivot area. Okay. Down into the daily 21, the D21. The D21, man, could act as a dynamic level of support. Doesn't have to, but even briefly. Okay? So if one was a scalper, okay, you'd have to stop it now because the move's dead. But isn't it interesting to have this sort of all plotted? Right? And a scalper might be playing it this way. Okay? Playing the range until she breaks 8. Do you know what I'm talking about? Right? So there's cycles you could be trading, moving average crossovers. Why would you ignore the 2155 here? Why would you ignore the 200 here? Range, flat cat. So what does the 2155 represent? Yeah, there you go, Ryan. Ryan nailed it. There is no market. Why would you be using tools to measure market conditions when there's no market? Right, on this time frame, you're making decisions. No, it's not too short at all. I mean, I wouldn't consider that the overall market, but, you know, but in this case, yeah, they're just not valuable levels to really pay much attention to. By the way, I realized in the scalping course, I'm going to have to give you my OCO tool. So I'm going to include that as a download that comes with the course. Sort of like how the pivots are included with the swing course. Give it all, but I won't know, and I'll wait for you. Forget what time frame I wanted to look at this. How are you going to play that? Well, if the market's not bullish or bearish, what do you call the market, youngster? Yeah, but by definition, there's no market. If it's not a bullish market, or there's no, if it's not a bearish market, then there's no market. So why are you using tools and making decisions based on market analysis when the market hasn't decided whether the market is bullish or bearish? You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, but you could call it sideways. You could non-directional. Dude, there's no buyers. There's no sellers. Right? What do you call an auction when you got a bunch of auctioneers and no one bidding? Oh, wow, this is a sideways moving market. Dude, there's no auction. Oh, well, we got the auctioneer. We got a bunch of junky cars over here. We got everything you need. Like, no, you need bidders, dude. You need buyers. Right? Yeah. Ranged. Whatever, dude. Right? So, like, some people will see, you got to be careful, I think, because none of that's wrong, right? But when you tell me range, to me it feels like there are rules of built into all of this, like it's a video game. Oh, well, it's range, so I'll just do this. Well, okay, yeah, all right. But you should realize that there's mostly people not doing anything. You know, like, do you really want to participate in a area at a price where, like, no one's even interested? But so that's the important information, right? Right? I mean, but that's the realization I think that people need to have. Because a lot of people just think so mechanically as a newer trader that they're like, oh, I'll just buy here and I'll just sell there. But again, it's like a video game where you're just throwing down trades. And look, if you blow up your trade account, no problem, just reboot, restart, right? No worries, just restart. Well, imagine it this way: you have $1 billion, and every time you pull the trigger, it's a big trade. Every pip costs you $30,000. Let's say every time it goes up and down, one pip, you made or lost $30,000. And you're like, well, no one's really buying or selling here, so I think I'll just throw down a trade and see what happens. Right? That's cool. So I'm down a couple of $100,000. That's entertaining. Right? So that's kind of the attitude I'm trying to portray here, that you got to be careful. Do you really want to trade when there's no market? Now, you can technically, right? But one of the things I'm teaching people in the scalping course is that, you got to know why and where before you even think about when. So, right? But and there should be a hell of a lot more to your trade plan than no one else is trading, so I guess I should be. Right? But if you just think of the way, it'll change your attitude, won't it? Wow, I had a cough and a hiccup at the same time. So anyways, right, like, it changes. It's sort of like being surveyed. Wow, I have hiccups now. It's like being surveyed. The way they ask the question will change the response. So anyways. With or without you. Yeah, watch 100 hours or 100 of my videos. Yeah, if you include like FX Bootcamp videos, TradersWay videos, and then Forex.Today videos, I think I have 3,000 videos on YouTube. Plus FX Street, yeah, all right. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of videos, right? Just think about how many hours it's taken to upload 3,000 or 4,000 videos to YouTube. How many years have I spent uploading? So anyways. All right, so pig dog is something I'd much rather trade anyway. So we looked at euro dollar, but we know pound is way worse, right? Joe Garner. Don't even know who that is. So I think this is going to be a good one that I should include in the scalping course. So how many people have read my book? Oh, Gamer That Makes Money. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Cool. Thank you. Namaste. I hope you like it. 3 times, twice. Cool. Right on, man. You know, it's the only book I've ever written. I've contributed other books, but it's just raw honesty. So anyways, my point is, in that book, which goes over the basic methodology, this is a sell. Just like plain as day, right? Price is falling in a falling market. Plain as day, this is just absolutely textbook. Okay? It's nice, isn't it? And that methodology is a basis to everything else now, as far as how you put together trades. That's it. I look at that, and it's just it. That's it. That's your bread and butter. The sum of the entire book is right there. Price has turned bearish in a bearish market. Maybe you should sell. Right? Like, genius stuff, right? Right? Give a moose a pip. He'll want 100 more. Yeah. Oh, and you only had 2 days to set it up, right? So, using multiple time frame analysis, gee whiz. Right? Do you see the entry now? Okay, so this is the interesting thing about trading. Where on here is there a clear sell? And it's not really clear, sorta. I mean, you could really tell yourself, oh, well, right here, double top, Wayne. Yeah, but there's a bit of hindsight in that because now you know it's dropped a bajillion, right? But is this double top predictable before the double top's even formed? Is it possible, as this is moving up in what some would call a three-wave correction, would it be, could you possibly have been like here or here, actually thinking and perhaps even waiting for a double top? When price is touching this monthly support pivot, could you possibly be saying, reversal pattern, 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 the whole time, right? Reversal pattern, definitely reversal pattern, definitely reversal pattern, right? Dwayne, man, right? 200 pips, 200 pips, definitely 200 pips. Nobody gets that one. Yeah, no, come on, think of Dustin Hoffman and Tom Cruise. Yeah, Wayne Man. I'm German. It's pronounced Wayne Man. Yeah. Right, Junkyard Dog? Yeah, tough crowd. Come on. Hey, funny thing happened to me on the way to the webinar. I'll be here the rest of the week, folks. 2 drink minimum. $3 at the door. Yeah. No respect, huh? So anyways, so all of this is predictable based on this. Wait for it. Okay. So this is multiple time frames that we're talking about. A trade plan is, I wonder if it'll fall at London Open off the hourly 21. Okay. 1 second. Daughter's on her way to Girl Scout camp. Woohoo! So anyways, that's what a trade plan is. Hey man, I wonder around London Open if we can kick off the 21 to the down. Catch some ask, right? Kick some ask. And there it is right there, man. Didn't take the trade because it didn't rise above the, well, no, it's not a swing. Okay, Brandy? Brandon? Okay, it's just not a swing, that's all. Okay, so what is it? It's a spot trade. Yeah, just a spot trade. It's like a day trade. A spot trade can last, let me get my drawing tool here. Okay, you see this? From here to here, how much time has passed? You don't have to count them. London Open, right, to New York Open. Okay? I consider that one trading session. Okay? I'm not predicting anything here, but don't be shocked if this happens. Okay? I wouldn't plan on being in this long term. I wouldn't I wouldn't plan, just based on this, to be short the rest of the week. Oh, well, it'd be anything like any other technical situation. Hang on. Let me zoom in. Okay. Okay. If you had a trade plan ahead of time, remember, you have to have it ahead of time, otherwise your entry is going to be pathetic. Okay? You should be sort of short in here, and your stop's here. Or your stop could be here. It's your call. Okay? Or, like I'll teach you, and this is why I think I'll go back and I'll use this as an example in the trading course, we would scalp the heck out of this. There's 5 trades here. At least 5 trades you're scalping. You could say, oh, no swing, so I'm going to scalp this. And bear in mind, and this is why I'm forcing myself, I don't have time to do this training course. I don't. So I'm doing it in the weekend, in amongst spending time with the wife and kids, doing it in the backyard, and going over here, and going to the pool party, going to that. I'm just cramming this thing in. But it's important information because you need to, you're going to run into this time of year. Anyways, a typical trade here would be at least a spot trade or a series of scalps. Okay? But a spot trade would be sell London Open, take profit before New York opens, and reassess. AKA, take your 50 pips and do, repeat. Give it all, but I won't move. All right, so I know it's early, but I need to pull the plug today. It's not terribly early. So let's just go over the calendar, and I'll just use my brain. What? Wednesday's a big deal because we have FOMC. We have CPI and Philly Fed this week. We have Bank of England on Thursday. Nobody cares about pound CPI, right? Who cares? And then Friday we have Bank of Japan interest rate decision. So Fed interest rate decision, right? UK interest rate decision. Bank of Japan interest rate decision. There might be an ECB thing in there. Who cares? No, we already did ECB, right? But yeah, there's some Philly Fed. There's some CPI in there. But those are the big ones. Swiss National Bank, who cares? I mean, yeah, unless they make a change. Okay, if they make a change, that's cool. But look. I think most people here are not paying attention to the Swiss franc at all. No, it's their own fault, but I'm not pushing you in that corner. But I've told everybody 1,000 times, it's a funding currency. But most people are doing like pound Kiwi. I'm like, all right, great, fine, great. And it's a good, great. But I'm not, we don't need to get into that. So look, if you're trading Swiss franc, which you probably should be, then you should be on top of things like Swiss National Bank. But most people are not, so there's no need to go there, I think. It's just, see, most people are doing like really weird, complicated things, even though they don't have much experience or knowledge behind them. So I don't, I'm asking you to do less. Just focus on the US dollar for a while, Right? Like out of the book, be a greenback guru. But anyways, so I'll be here tomorrow, guys. Been short pound CAD for a month. Yeah. And that's probably a terrible, or pound Swiss franc. Yeah, I was going to say pound CAD would be terrible. But yeah. Well, I set that one up, didn't I, James? The pissy trade, right? Gee whiz. I swear, I'm like, hey, we never really cover this, but I think you guys should be watching it. I remember doing that now. Come on, Bob. I remember setting up pissy, pound Swissy. Oh, yeah. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay. But I think at the time it was going up. But anyways, check that out. Yeah. So Jambo caught all of that. Huh? Good for you, man. That's killer. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good fundy move, man. That's a good fundy move. So where did all the pounds go? Apparently Swiss bank accounts. Are you getting into sterilization and such? Wow. Good. So it's in your course. I don't remember covering sterilization, but that's funny. I remember the first time I was reading about that, about the Fed, whether they're sterilizing or not. And I thought, ooh, it sounds painful. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. So anyways. Did you have a question? Don't get into sterilization. That is so, that's so deep. We don't need that now. Well, you're offsetting on the balance sheet, so you're how do you say it? You're trying to do one act and at the same time not affecting money supply. But it's a complicated issue, and it's so the Fed will reduce their balance it depends on how they do it, and honestly I've forgotten all the details, but it had to do with, like, I'm even trying to think of an example. It's just been so long. Yeah, I don't even recall. So yeah, so if it's in the course, again, a lot of these things were more relevant even just a few years ago. But I'll tell you, a few years ago, it was never even an issue. So I kind of feel like it's like suddenly guys at the coffee shop or at the bar watching, the Stanley Cup Finals and drinking beer, and during the commercials talking about mortgage-backed securities. And you're like, dude, where were mortgage-backed securities 10 years ago, right? Where will they be 10 years from now, right? Right? Oh, well, don't get me started with collateralized debt obligations. Oh, CDOs, please, right? It's just... So I don't know. Central banking sterilization of bonds so that it doesn't affect money supply. Like, really? So yeah, I don't know. It doesn't affect my day-to-day. Is it important? Well, I'm not going to say it's not important, but it's not. There are many, many more important things to be worried about. So they're trying to let's say, increase domestic money supply, but not increase international money supply. Now it's really nitpicky. It'd be something like your college professor would insist you write a paper on, but it may not make you a better trader, let's say. Yeah, that data is released. Yeah, it's released on a regular basis. Yeah, and you can. How about GDP? Download the GDP report. But you should be able to Google that. The current account, capital account, all that's available. Huh? Yeah, I can't. I'm just thinking it's on one of the. I don't know. It shouldn't be a hard thing to come up. It's yeah. No, I don't remember it being a problem. Maybe it's blocked in South Africa. I've run into that problem before. But yeah, no. Just it's there, man. Stick with it. Try capital account or current account deficit. That kind of stuff. It'll get you there. But I think there's part of the subcomponents of GDP, right? But it's in there. It's in there, man. It's in there. Cool. Anyways, hey, man. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May our profits be above average. James, that's a kick butt trade there. You nailed it. That's really good. I remember talking about it, but I haven't been tracking it. Cool. And by the way, I'm moving out of my home, away from my wife and children this week. So that's why I'm working hard to do this course for you. Pretty soon I'll be hanging out in places like this. This is the library. So yeah, I need to get the course done. So while I'm gone, I will try to check in from time to time. Oh, I would imagine by then, Heidi. Yeah, I mean, we got people working on it right now. Remember, it was an upgrade that was supposed to make things better. So what are you going to do? I mean, and now it doesn't work, and it's probably in the coding. So now we got to go back to the ultimate programmers that are doing it. Like, dude, you gave us this code, now it doesn't work, and it's just, what are you going to do? It's sort of, it's not your fault, it's not my fault, it's not my team's fault, but it's a problem, and they're working on it, and they're relying on other idiots, and so I don't know. Yeah, but in this case, the theme has been updated, so we updated it, and it doesn't work. You're like, what do you mean it doesn't work? So whatever. So a lot of people did post, and I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, thanks for sticking with it, right? So anyways, peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Thank you for being a client at TradersWay. If you're not a client, I'd like you to open up at least a demo account at TradersWay, and I hope you do that. Give us and give me a chance to earn your respect and loyalty. And if you haven't opened an account but you're here every day, that's disrespectful. So anyway, see you tomorrow. Yeah. Cheers.